Hey guys, Patrick Smith, YouTube channel Cure for Ignorance, talking today about is it worth fixing? I'll do another video about how I kind of decide if something is worth the money and worth the time, but this one we're going to do a very specific example. So I've been going through computer stuff and gun stuff in my basement and getting rid of a lot of stuff. Fixed up a laptop and actually sold it to a buddy. Bought a new SATA drive for that for about 50 bucks, something like that. Got it put together and got that sold, which is good because he got a laptop for a lot cheaper than he was going to have to buy one, and it's a good laptop, and so he saved some money and I got some money out of something that wasn't doing anything for me. It's kind of the benefit of a free market system, right? He gives me money, he gets a laptop. I value the money more than the laptop. He values the laptop more than the money, so through that exchange we both win. We both get something more than what we had before. Anyway, kind of a tangent. So going through this stuff, I found this old HP desktop in my basement. And I'll put a picture of it right here. This is a picture without the cover on it, because I was looking at it, obviously. It had a hard drive in it, but it wasn't booting to the hard drive. Tried to get it to get fixed with the boot record with a Windows disk, and it wasn't having it. Of course, it was a hard drive. I've had this computer for so long, I don't even remember where I got it from. So it's been sitting on a shelf for a while. And obviously it was sitting on a shelf because it wasn't working at the time, and I never got around to fixing it. And if you watched my data video, you know that I don't give away hard drives. If I buy a hard drive, that hard drive is with me for its entire life, and when I'm done with the hard drive, I get the data off of it, and I physically destroy the drive to make sure that banking information and personal photographs, they don't go somewhere else and go with the hard drive, but make sure that they're unrecoverable. Anyways, look at this computer, and I started looking at what it's going to cost to get this thing running with the idea of fixing it up and selling it to try to get some money out of it. So I looked at buying a lower end, apparently this computer, when I looked at the specs of it, originally shipped with a 250 gig hard drive, which makes sense because the processor's nothing really fancy anymore. It's got 4 gig of RAM, so that's pretty good. But so a cheap SATA hard drive for this, for a 250 gig hard drive, was about 33 bucks off Newegg. Okay. And then I don't deal with pirated software, so I needed to buy a new license of Windows for this thing if I was going to sell it. So the cheapest one I found on Newegg was about 100 bucks, Windows 10. So about 130 bucks, 135 bucks, maybe with some shipping in there for some of that, was what it's going to cost to get this thing up and running and get it so I can sell it, get it usable again. So I went ahead and looked at what this thing cost new, and new it cost like $88 with free shipping and a 1-year warranty. So at that point, if the parts to fix it cost more than what it's worth when it's fixed, then it's totaled. So to me, this is not worth fixing. It's not worth fixing to sell it. Now, I have an old IDE drive, and I might actually put an IDE drive in this thing and Windows 98 on it and dig out some old discs for some old computer games and have fun with this. Thinking about Windows 98, the thing is almost 20 years old, and I can guarantee you I did not have 4 gigs of RAM on my computers when I played these games 20 years ago. So for that, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So it's not worth me to fix it and sell it, but it might be worth my time to fix it up and play with it a little bit, because if I just spend my time and I already have the equipment, then it's not costing me anything to play with it myself, except for a little bit of time. So we'll do a new video about how I gauge the price of things, how I gauge the worth of things, and I base that off of time and money, and those two things are very closely related. Of course, there are some things that you can't quantify, like sentimental value and that kind of thing, but that'll be for the other video. So this computer, not worth fixing to sell it, but maybe worth fixing to play around with. So, kind of random thought today. YouTube channel Cure for Ignorance. Thanks for watching, guys.